Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Luthier. This will be published by Paverson Games, and it is designed by Dave Beck, A. Barnson, and it has Vincent Dutray art.
All right, so I'm asking you, do you know what a luthier is?
No, I'm Protestant.
No. No. That's not what a luthier is. A luthier is someone who repairs or creates musical instruments.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, for instance, this desperately needs a luthier. The bridge is broken. It's only got 3 strings. Did you know violins don't have 3 strings?
Yeah, no, they're supposed to have 4. Well, there's no music
This
happening
needs help.
there.
This needs a luthier. All right, so in Luthier, we are taking on the role of these families of these musical instrument makers. So you've heard of like Stradivari, like the maker of the Stradivarius instruments?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're doing. We are taking on the role of those families. We're going to be repairing musical instruments. We are going to be making musical instruments, all to try to please these various patrons. They're going to get these patrons. At first, they're very happy with us. They're showering us with these gifts, right? Every round, they're like, oh, we love you so much for all that you do. Here's all this cool stuff. But their patience is going to start to wear thin the longer and longer you don't make something for them. They're going to like things that you do for them, such as, obviously, make musical instruments that they're demanding, that they're going to use. Or maybe they want you to repair one of their favorite instruments. Or they want you to make a performance in the musical style that they like. If they like classical, don't you dare hit them with Baroque. They want their musical style to be played, and that's going to make them happier, reset their patience. Obviously, going to make them very happy. You're going to be able to finish that card off, and you are going to be able to score that card. That is the whole point of the game, trying to make as many instruments as possible to please all of your various patrons. This is a worker placement style game. Your workers are coming in the style of these little discs, and these discs are numbered 1, 3, and 5 at the beginning of the game. Later on, you're going to be able to get some additional discs that are going to help you out, give you more actions that you can do. And the higher the number, the higher the priority that you get to take when you're choosing from the various actions. And the actions include things like performing, like we talked about, repairing instruments, creating new instruments, and then also you can go to the balcony and get special actions there. You can also draft new patrons into your area. And on your own personal player board, you actually have 2 action spots as well. One for roughing an instrument, kind of creating the shell of it, and another for finishing the musical instrument. So
beautifying it.
Exactly. So you have 5 actions on the main board that you're going to be competing with, as well as 2 actions on your own personal board. And as you complete some of these actions, there's kind of an area control part of the board. Once you complete one of these actions, you're able to take some special abilities and kind of lock down first chair in the orchestra, which, as you know, if you're a musician, it's a very coveted spot in the orchestra.
Yes, it really is. Now, there are some really neat things about this game. One of them is this conductor baton that I'm playing with right now. Boop. So it seems like a gimmick, but it's actually not. So they tell you when you're teaching the game to use this to point to different things on the board, and you're like, okay. But oh my gosh, I wish so many like Euro games had something like this. When the board's all spread out, and instead of just standing up and being like, over here, you can just be like, over there. This was not a gimmick. And I know I'm talking about this little piece of cardboard for a very long time, but I just really appreciated it a lot to show me different things on the board. Even if you're teaching somebody to play this game, and you can point to their own player board without messing with any of their stuff. Love it.
Could you conduct a waltz with that? Let's see your best waltz.
Okay. Waltz is 3/4, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You just said 4. You failed at there's one thing everyone knows about a waltz. It's in 3/4. And you're a musician. You're like not.
I'm not a musician, but I even asked. I even got clarification, and then I still did it wrong.
It's okay. We love her anyways.
Oh my god!
All right. So one thing that I thought that was very cool. She talked about teaching the game with that baton. This actually includes a separate rule book called the rehearsal, which the rehearsal basically teaches you and walks through the entirety of the game. It shows you exactly what all the actions are, shows you what you should do on your turn, walks you through all of that. It's an incredible teaching tool. Paverson's first game, Distilled, did something similar. They called it The First Taste. Yeah. And it was great. We used that, and we learned the game fully. Now, you lose some control, right? You're just basically kind of playing the prompts to kind of go through the motions and learn all the actions.
And not just that, but they have very certain cards that are out for you to purchase as well.
Exactly. Yeah. But because of that, when you do your second game that's like completely you feel like you're an absolute expert. You know everything about the game that you could possibly need to know because of how thorough and how excellent that is. It's a great teaching tool. Really loved the rehearsal.
Speaking of teaching tool, the game has a wonderful player aid, and I really, really liked it. It has all the icons you could ever need. I think we only had to reference the rulebook once because of this player aid. It was just very thorough. Everything was clear. It was big enough. I didn't have to wonder what was going on. It's just, I like it when the game gives me an opportunity to play the game instead of making me always go back to the rulebook. And with this player aid right next to me, I always knew what I could do. When we drew certain cards, I could refer to that, and I knew exactly what was happening. So I really, really liked that player aid.
All right, so pretty much all the actions on the main board have what they're supposed to do, right? Draft this particular patron, draft an instrument, repair an instrument, whatever the case is. But they all also have a secondary additional option that you can take instead. So, for instance, if you really need certain resources, you can use that secondary action for that.
Yeah.
Or maybe you were planning on getting a patron or getting a whatever, but the board state has changed. Things that were taken out from underneath you. You didn't get what you needed, so now you need to pivot. Instead of using the first action, you can use the second action. It gives you a lot of flexibility and some great choices. On top of that, we talked about how there's those worker placement discs and they have higher numbers. Each one of those actions on the board, as well as on your personal board, have extra benefits if you use a higher number. So it incentivizes you to use those higher numbers strategically. So not only do you get to go first in that area, but you're also going to get some extra benefits. Maybe discounts on repairing, or maybe you get to get some extra resources or go up on some of these tracks. There's various tracks on the boards that you're going to want to get special abilities and special benefits from. So I love how these actions are not just go there, get a resource, and your turn's done. No, it's go there and do something impactful. It's going to change your setup of the game.
And it could happen that in all these places that you're, drafting cards from, they get refreshed every round. And there's certain things that you're going for. There's certain things that your patron wants. There's certain things that are going to give you specifically in-game scoring. And sometimes when you play games like that, they're just not coming up. But you have an opportunity in this game. If you go to that spot and you take that action, you can pay a lot. I mean, you pay a lot, but you can dig through the entire deck. So you can do that for all 4 of these decks. You can pay a lot to try and get the thing that you're looking for. So I really like that you're never out of the game. You're never not going to have the opportunity to get what you want to get for your scoring abilities or for your patron. Though it's going to cost you, you're always going to have the opportunity to do that. You can dig and find what you specifically need.
When you get at the beginning of the game, you get those family tiles. You get 2 of them dealt to you. You're going to choose one of them. But it's not just, a name. It's also some special abilities, some starting resources. And that really changes if you're starting turns, what your actions options are. I think it's a great way to do a couple of things. First of all, it gives you a direction to go in. If you're knowing that, hey, I got an extra patron that no one else got, or hey, I got an extra instrument no one else got, it's going to give you some direction and things that you can work towards. On top of that, it also kind of varies the board a little bit, so not everyone is fighting for the exact same thing right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So that way, you do want to have a little bit of a collision, so that way you have to force to choose wisely about what tokens to use. But at the same time, for your turn 1, you just want to make sure you get what you need. So it's really nice that those powers are very variable, because you start very different starting resources, and it's all thematic as well.
Yeah, even though you're starting and you're going a different direction, you still kind of just want to do all of it. You want to be able to have all the great patrons. You want to be able to be in the orchestra. You want to be first chair. You want to build all the instruments. You want to perform. You want to repair. You want to draft all. You want to do it all. And you actually kind of have to do it all. You want to do it all and you can't do it all, but you still get to do a lot. You get to do a lot in this game. It left me wanting just one more turn. Just one more turn. And I like that because that gives
one more action, please.
It gives me a sense of accomplishment while also wanting me, still pulling me in.
I think that one of the things that was really subtle was a little bit of engine building. I would not call this an engine building game, but when you satisfy the needs of a patron, you can flip them over, check them onto your board. There's an additional little bit of engine building that happens for the rest of the game. Maybe it's some income. Maybe it's a special ability that when you take one action, you get an extra points or whatever the case is. So there's a subtle engine building as the game goes on. It gets stronger and stronger. I think it was a great way to kind of keep things ramped up. The excitement level was continually growing throughout the game. So that subtle engine building, it really kept things moving. Very exciting.
Yeah, I also liked that in a two-player specifically, it was very easy to resolve all the action, so all the different places you were going to. But even so, it does have this resolution board that makes it very easy. So even if you're first player, right, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going first. You're just kind of choosing what area you're going, but then all those tiles get flipped over, and they get flipped over in the turn that they get placed there. So if there's ties, whoever placed there first gets to go first, but after everything's placed, you rearrange them, and they have that that resolution board, so it's very clear to see who's going and what's going, and they're not moving around at all. So I thought it was very easy for us to do that in a two-player game. I don't think we used that board.
No, we didn't really need to.
We didn't need to. Yeah, I mean, outside of putting your own chips there and remembering, like, you don't get to combine them if you're putting two different workers there, which is really frustrating when you're playing on your own player board because you want to do a certain action twice, but you, with a higher number, but you can't. They don't add on top of each other. Just the apprentices get added to that. But I just thought that worked out really well.
All of the art for this is Vincent Dutrait art, and it is phenomenal. Really, really, really good. We've always loved Vincent Dutrait art, but yeah, all of the art for this is going to be original art. Obviously, this is a prototype that we were playing with, all the pictures that we've been showing you. This is prototype art, so there is going to be some placeholder art, so maybe some small graphic design changes, but all of it's for the better, so that's all a good thing. But yeah, original portraits for all these musicians, all the instruments. Oh, it looks so good, looks so clean. Very impressed with the art on this one.
Yeah, it is. It was really fun to play. Ryan and I had a really good time while we were playing this, and it was, I don't know, I just like, I want it.
Yeah, I agree. This is a game that we don't back a lot of games. We are backing this game. It is an exceptional design. It is just a fantastic design. And I dabble a little bit in game design, right?
Yeah.
This is a side hobby of mine. I like to try to mess around and design games. And as the first time we were playing this, we were just like, holy smokes, how did this all come together?
How do you design? How do you play test this?
How do you have the idea for this? Come up with all the different segments, combine them all in such a seamless, smooth way, and simultaneously making it super, super thematic too. It's just very charming, very thematic. It's an incredible design, but at the same time, you can have an incredible, amazing design and still have the game not be that fun, right?
Yeah.
That's possible for that to happen.
We've played that.
This is not that. This is an exceptional design, and it's a freaking blast to play.
Oh, Ryan, look. The exact same instrument.
Oh, we hired a luthier, and now look.
Look, our bridge is there.
It's fixed.
It's the exact same instrument. It's all better now.
And it works.
Look at that. Yep, it's perfect.
We did it, guys. We hired a luthier, and by golly, they did a great job.
Great work. Great work.
This game is on Kickstarter now, so if anything we said interests you, be sure to follow that link to the Kickstarter page, and then it'll be coming to retail eventually as well.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
You guys, thanks for watching our shenanigans. As always, we appreciate it. Over here, if you follow this link, you're going to find a playlist we've handcrafted just for you because you watched this video.
And if you check over here, this is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. So you can check that out if you want as well.
All right, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.